so hard. Ooh, Lord, my trouble so hard. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Ooh, Lord, my trouble so hard.
Hey, Leon.
Ooh, Lord, my trouble so
Hey, good
hard.
morning. How are we doing?
Don't
Sorry, just getting
Good.
things situated.
Well, it'd be better if I still had my runner, but
Oh
it's
no, you
okay.
lost it, did you?
Yeah, it trailed out overnight. I was being a little
Didn't it?
trying to protect some more profits on it, so I kind of trailed it up. And then, of course, it got lost overnight. And then just, we've been having these massive just volatility swings overnight this week. And it's just, unfortunately, we didn't go down overnight. We went up.
Yeah, one thing I want to go and look at this morning. I don't follow this, but just wanted to see how the ATR has been expanding recently. I mean, you can see it on the summary page up here. Prior day's range 167 points, overnight range 83 points. Huge swings, great volatility, dream conditions. I think we can all agree.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, it's been I don't know. I can't. It's been an interesting week, like for me, in terms of like it's green week, which is good, especially given like usually for me, like high volatility is kind of my weakness. So kind of like high volatility, high speed, I don't really do too well in. So it's been green, but yeah, definitely just less trades though. So it's been kind of one of those weeks where it's like less trades, but the ones I've been doing have been high quality. The runners have kind of ran a little bit. So
But that's the way to do it, man. Just snipe those quality ones.
yeah.
Um, okay, let's get into the plan for today. So obviously we had pretty major fail breakdown yesterday at kind of the bottom of the downtrend channel that we've been in, and then boosted back up. Didn't recover the overnight, so it was still actually red on the day despite the, what did it work out, 130 point leg up from that fail breakdown. So still closed red on the day, but we are pushing higher now. So trade plan for today, we've had the first um, trade idea from the newsletter play out maybe a couple of times already. I was able to get a little piece of that this morning. Um, it's always a little bit tricky here. What I'm talking about here is the 6817. So it's pretty messy last night, but there was definitely a couple of levels you could have gotten out of it there. Um, and then again this morning, I'm always a little bit uneasy taking these trades when when they've played out and it's a lot of messy structure around the level from the previous attempt on it. Were you looking at that at all this morning, or are you interested in
No,
anything else? No.
no, I had nothing.
Okay. So yeah, that's what's active right now. But what that's done though is it's the 6817 fail breakdown has set us up with a nice low to work with at 6813. So 37 points up. So if that's not on your chart, what I'm personally going to do is remove these levels 17 and 22 and just focus on 6813 for the session here, which is that orange level. Obviously if we can flush this guy and recover it, then that'd be something of interest, especially if we can kind of hold above hold around the century figure or the 95 zone. So that's
Yeah,
kind
I
of.
think that's the best one, at least for now,
Mhm.
in terms of just a pure failed breakdown trade. That is the first pure failed
Yeah,
breakdown trade,
that's good.
kind of on the way down here.
hmm Yeah, so adjust that 17 to level to 13 and watch for that one first of all. I'm curious if later, let's say we do flush down here, I'm curious if Adam will tweet anything about 95. It wasn't a level again, but if we do sell off, because there's beneath 13, obviously there was, actually the newsletter was a little different here. I think it said 6770. I've pulled that level up personally to 6774. Obviously the overnight low there. So pretty clear clear low here. These two lows are nice and clean to trade around, so those will be the main ones I'm focusing on if we can get any sort of dip here. So 13 and 74. Have you made that adjustment? Because I think it was at 70
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
71. Yeah,
Yes. Those are, you mean, you nailed it on the head. That's my plan for today is just those two spots, to be honest. So,
mm,
um, obviously that's going to require a bit of an elevator sell down. We could obviously get it, but we may not get it either. So, if we don't get it, then there's not really a ton to do today. It will probably be one of those days to just go do something else or be on the sidelines. But if we do get it, then those are definitely two potential good spots to watch. I mean, one of the members in the Discord said it perfectly, but quite literally our job every day, I mean, at least for us who focusing on, essentially just trading a system of failed breakdowns is just waiting for that really big elevator sell down for it to undercut some sort of significant low, recover, and then kind of get back off to what it ES does normally, which is start grinding higher. So until that happens, I know it's a little mundane, but there's nothing else to really do. I
mm.
mean, there's quite literally just zero to do in terms of a trading perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. That was what I was trying to do with that scary flush indicator, and I could never get it to alert properly, and I kind of gave up, got fed up of fighting with AI to do it. I'm just going to bring that up on the screen, but the idea there was it would ping you anytime the cell kind of increased above whatever gradient you were looking at. So kind of this guy. So you can kind of see how it highlights the bars when we exceed a certain rate of descent, certain gradient of flush. And I could never get it to send me an alert and gave up on that. But yeah, that's really what we're waiting for. So let me
Yeah,
get
and
rid of
that's a
that.
good point too, because I would argue with you that probably the failed breakdowns that are often the trickiest in terms of like them not working out or just being a chop, like just a absolute mess of chop, usually ends up being the ones that sell really slowly. So
Mm-hmm.
you'll have some that are just kind of like slow selling into the level. There's no real push of momentum out of the level, right? They're just kind of, and again, this kind of harkens back to the same point I think we discussed last week, which is the real skill of the system is understanding the relationship between price volatility and momentum. Like you just have to be able to understand how that applies in different contexts so that way you're able to avoid the ones that potentially look like failed breakdowns. And if all you're doing is just entering on the ones that actually are failed breakdowns, then yeah, I mean that's how you end up with a really high win rate, right? That's how
Yeah.
you're going to get to that 90%, 95% win rate is just by making sure you start weeding out the ones that are the ones that fake. Because I would say, on a weekly basis, we probably have, I mean, at least a few every week that probably fake out. And if you start entering a lot of those and it starts cutting your win rate, that's where it starts being really hard to be profitable.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a big part of the reason I created this in the first time. I think I'd gotten into a couple of trades where it was just a lazy sell, and I'm like, I need to something to flag this to stop me taking these lower probability. Not saying they can't work, but if we're not inducing shorts to short below the level to then get trapped, then it's less likely that the price is going to spring back in the way we want it. And like you've been talking about a lot
Yeah.
recently, if those shorts aren't scared and sweating it, then why are they going to be covering their positions? They're not. So firstly, you need to induce new shorts to enter, and then we need to make them sweat. So
Yeah, for me, the weakness is probably on the momentum. I mean, I think a lot of times when I've gotten trapped in the past, it's been I see we have acceptance, and then I just start bidding that level. And Adam made a really good point about this last week, just being like, hey, acceptance really, just to reiterate, it's a precursor to long. It doesn't mean as soon as you have acceptance, you're now good to long. You still need to see some momentum And that usually, it's again, it's a little bit of a screen time and kind of a feel thing, but I think on the safe answer too, there's also just kind of why we have that danger zone because you want to see price really start accelerating out of that area, or at least if you're coming into it, like yesterday was a perfect example with the 43 failed breakdown. We start going, 3 4 points above it with quite a bit of nice speed, and like, it really starts picking up, and then it's like, okay, that's a good one to long versus the couple of rejections prior. You didn't really have the speed of price and power going into it.
Yeah, I've just pulled that up on the 2 minute chart here. And this is what we were talking about yesterday. We touched on it in the trade recap, but it never pushed above. It kind of wicked above the danger zone real quick, but then straight back into it, and then just chop, chop, chop sideways. So clear signal, clear non-trigger, caution there. Perfect reason that Adam has this danger zone as part of the system. So yeah, but let's see what happens. We have tested and flushed beneath the bottom of the range, so we may be looking to work back up to the top side of the range here. But we've got a pretty clear trade plan. So let's sit back, set your alerts, wait for the scary flush. With headlines can come at any time. So that's what the alerts are for. And with that, I don't have much else to add. I'm just going to sit back and wait, see what the open brings in about 4 minutes here. As I say, 13.74 and then 18 below. The 42 doesn't really interest me whatsoever, but we'll see.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Well, thanks everyone. Any questions? Catch you in the Discord. I'm getting a lot of pings going off there, so I guess there's something going on. Alrighty, we'll catch you guys later. Bye for now.